everyone. Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Karen. Today we are looking at part 1 of what does TTYL mean? What does TTYL mean?
Toronto Tomato Yacht Lines.
No!
Tuesday, Thursday, yellow laundry.
No, guess again.
No, I have no idea.
It just means talk to you later.
Oh, TTYL.
Exactly.
OMG.
Oh my gosh.
LOL.
Laugh out loud.
AFAIK.
What is that?
As far as I know.
Oh, what is POS? I bet you don't know. I saw this one just right now. It's kind of funny.
I have no idea.
It's parent over shoulder.
Parent
like,
over shoulder.
Yeah, so it's like maybe someone, like a kid is trying to go on the internet, but the parent is looking over their shoulder, so they would type POS. I just learned that.
Interesting. Where I come from, POS has a different meaning. We won't get into that. IMHO.
IMH. What is that?
In my humble opinion.
Oh.
TLDR.
TLDR.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's when someone puts something, hey, everyone read this. And someone says, I don't have time. TLDR, too long, didn't read.
Okay.
In other words, give me the short version because I can't be bothered. But these are all ways that people communicate, using these letters to mean sentences or phrases or something. But it's something that people are doing now but haven't been doing for very long. So if some of these expressions are new or unusual, or if you've never heard of them before, well, don't be surprised because a lot of this language is really new.
Exactly. It wasn't around when we were young, right?
Not even before cell phones were around, which haven't been around that long. I know it's hard to believe. So let's find out, what does TTYL mean?
Let's go.
People don't always talk in complete words or sentences. Sometimes they use shorter forms in place of the complete ones. One good example is TTYL.
So we're looking at part 1 of what does TTYL mean, right? So we're talking about all the internet abbreviations.
Yeah, cell phone, text message abbreviations. People use them in all sorts of ways, but they are a good way to not type out all of these words, which is especially useful when you're texting people, when you're writing with your fingers, or when you just don't want to write out all those words. So as it says, people don't always talk in complete words or sentences, right? Especially when we're communicating, when we're chatting casually, even with words. We don't say the full sentence. We might shorten things and say like okay or something like that. So there's a lot of situations, not just texting, where we don't always use complete sentences, often just to save time or because it's very clear what we're saying and the people who we're talking to know us very well. You don't have to explain everything all the time.
So it's a little bit more efficient when we are communicating, right?
Exactly.
Saves more time. But I guess then people are being a little bit lazy on the spelling part then, right?
True, yeah. Sometimes people forget how to spell the words in the real way because they always use these short ones.
So sometimes it's kind of important to type in the complete sentences. So complete is an adjective. Complete just means to have all the necessary parts of something. So when you're doing a test, maybe you're finishing all the questions, and after you answered all of the questions, then you can say, my test is complete, right?
Yes,
so when
exactly.
it's all done. So when you use a complete sentence, you're not shortening it in any way, you're not using abbreviation, so you're using the complete sentence.
Exactly. And a sentence is one of the most basic forms of writing or communication. When we talk about an English sentence, we're talking about putting words together, nouns, verbs, things like that, and following the rules of English that we call grammar. A sentence should have a subject, it should have a verb, it should have an object. Those, of course, are nouns. And a complete sentence should have all of those things in it. When we write, this is often important, and you will lose marks on an English test if you don't write with complete sentences. But of course, in the real world, when we're talking, especially in a casual way, you don't always use a complete sentence. If someone says, "Would you like a pizza?" and you say yes, that's not really a complete sentence, but it would be weird to say, "Yes, I would like a pizza," right, if you're talking in the real world. So they're not always used, but they are always important to know how to use, because that is the proper way of communicating. Put one idea in one sentence.
And sometimes they use shorter forms in place of the complete ones. One good example is TTYL. Now, before when you were mentioning that when you're talking, sometimes you would eliminate, take out some words, but you can still, send your message across. People can still understand you. But when we're using these abbreviations, a lot of times we're just using letters. We're not even using words, right? So they're even shorter, but people can still understand.
Exactly, right. And when we talk about the form of something, we're basically talking about what the rules say we should do. Different things, when you do them, they might take different forms. With communication, you can say a sentence that's just a statement, "I like pizza," or you could put it into the form of a question. Do you like pizza? So we're talking about the same type of thing, but the form of that sentence, the way we put the words, the way we say the words, and the meaning, those are different forms, and the form will change depending on the situation and other things like that. So often when we're learning words, when we're learning techniques, when we're learning the proper way to do something, we are learning the right form. In other words, the right way to do that thing. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll be back with much more. So we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
TTYL stands for Talk to You Later. It's another way to say goodbye or see you later. People use it when they're leaving a conversation, but will be back again soon. TTYL often comes at the end of text messages, but some people even use it in real conversations. TTYL is really popular, and the Oxford English Dictionary already added it to its pages.
Welcome back, everyone. So we are still talking about TTYL, right?
Yes, these short little sentences that we've replaced with just letters because we use them on the internet or when we're chatting and things like that. But if you don't know what they mean, it's not a really good way of communicating.
Exactly.
Because it's just a bunch of letters. I don't understand. So let's get back to that original one that we see in our title, TTYL. What does that mean? Well, we learn right here. TTYL stands for talk to you later. When something stands for something, it basically means that thing. It takes that place. So if you see it, you can think of it in this way. It stands for this. So the TTYL stands for talk to you later. You can see all those letters there. And what does that mean? It's another way to say goodbye or see you later. Yeah, back in the old days when we talked on the phone more, that would be a very casual way of sort of saying, okay, conversation's over, I'm gonna hang up, but I will talk to you soon. All right, talk to you later. And then you hang up, and maybe later that day or tomorrow or in the next little while, you'll call your friend back. So a casual way of saying goodbye or see you later.
Exactly. So I think this way of communicating is very, very casual. It's like between friends. When you're in a really formal situation, you probably wouldn't want to use TTYL on a business letter, right?
For sure.
So like you said before, stand for something is like something short for something. So for example, USA stands for United States of America, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes we would say BTW for by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah. And of course, things can stand for other things too, right?
That's
we often think of flags stand for countries or things like that.
Exactly. So people use it when they're leaving a conversation, but will be back again soon. So when people will leave a conversation, they will usually just type TTYL as a way of saying goodbye, see see you later, talk to you later.
That's exactly right, but probably soon. It wouldn't be, I'll never see you ever
Next
again,
year.
so talk to you later. No, probably not. But yes, as we're ending a conversation, especially with someone we're close to, and especially if we expect to talk to that person soon after, that's perfectly fine. What is a conversation? It's when people are talking to each other. You need at least two people, otherwise you're talking to yourself, or you could have a conversation with lots of people. I mean, having a conversation with 100 people would be hard because who's going to listen while everyone's talking? But if we're chatting with friends, if we're talking at dinner, over lunch, having a coffee, or talking on the phone, that kind of thing would be a conversation. Now, if you're chatting with someone using chat messages, I guess it's a conversation.
It is.
But we often think of it more as a speaking kind of conversation rather than necessarily writing. But you are talking, you're exchanging information, you're communicating with at least one other person.
That's right. So TTYL often comes at the end of text messages. But some people even use it in real conversations. But I never really used it in real conversations. How about you? If I were to say goodbye to you and see you later, I wouldn't just say, TTYL, Mike.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit okay, Karen. Yeah, it's been nice talking to you, TTYL. Yeah, I would probably just say talk to you later.
Exactly. But maybe for the younger generation, that might more likely be the case. But I think I'm more used to saying see you later or talk to you later instead of just the letters.
I think it also makes sense that if you're using it in a text message, you are actually saving time.
Yes.
Because text messages, of course, you write them out. These are not probably emails or things like that. No, text messages are what you probably write on your phone using Line or WhatsApp or something. Now, typing on your phone isn't as easy as typing on a computer, and it's certainly harder than just saying the words because text messages are short and we're writing them using a phone. So it's never that convenient. But yes, TALK. T-O. Yeah, you're saving a lot of time if you take all of those letters and turn them into 4. Whereas if I say talk to you later, TTYL, I'm not saving time because the word talk to you, these are not long words. But yeah, if you're writing them with a text message, especially if you're on the bus and you're writing with one hand or something, it's much easier to use those 4 letters rather than the whole phrase.
Exactly.
And it's really become something people do use a lot. TTYL is really popular. And the Oxford English Dictionary already added it to its pages. Wow, that's a pretty big deal. The Oxford English Dictionary is kind of like the holy book, the Bible of English. If it's in there, it's okay to use it in English. So apparently, according to the people at Oxford, TTYL is fine, probably because it's so popular.
Well, it is really popular, and popular is an adjective. When you describe something as popular, that means it's liked or used by a lot of people. So if a song is really popular, that means it's liked by a lot of people, right?
Absolutely. Everyone's doing it, everyone loves it, everyone's using it, everyone's saying it, so it's popular, like
That's
TTYL.
Exactly. Wow, I learned quite a lot about TTYL today and all these different abbreviations.
OMG, you are so right. And we'll be back tomorrow with more about TTYL, so please do come back for that. See you late.
So would it be C-U-L?
C-U-L-8-R. See you later.
Okay, well,
that's
we'll
right.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
People don't always talk in complete words or sentences. Sometimes they use shorter forms in place of the complete ones. One good example is TTYL. TTYL stands for Talk to You Later. It's another way to say goodbye or see you later. People use it when they're leaving a conversation but will be back again soon. TTYL often comes at the end of text messages, but some people even use it in real conversations. TTYL is really popular, and the Oxford English Dictionary already added it to its pages.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 complete 形容词，完整的，全部的。This is a complete list of Ame's songs. 这是阿妹歌曲的完整清单。下一个单字 sentence 名词，句子。It's difficult to tell you the whole story in one sentence. 很难用一句话来告诉你整件事的来龙去脉。下一个单字 form 名词，形式。I heard that swimming is the best form of exercise. 我听说游泳是最好的运动形式。最后一个单字 conversation 名词，对话，交谈。It's easy for my mother to get into conversations with people. 我妈很容易跟人家交谈。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 talk in 加名词，以某种形式或者是语言来谈话。这里要注意介系词的用法哦。我们来看一下这个例句 Jenny and her friends were talking in Italian. Jenny 和她的朋友在说意大利文。下一个文法 in place of 加名词，取代，替代。我们来看看这个例句 You can use noodles in place of rice in this recipe. 在这道食谱中，你可以用面条取代米饭。Recipe 在这里指的是食谱。最后一个文法 add A to B 将 A 加入 B，add 指的是增加、添加。我们来看看这个例句。
I finished all my chores. Do you think Santa will add me to his nice list?
You know Santa's not real, right?
以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hello, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
Today we're playing Word Drop. We each have 3 cards with words or phrases on them, and we haven't looked at them yet. And we need to fit these words or phrases into a conversation as smoothly as we can. So, are you ready to start off the conversation?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's start to get this ball rolling.
Okay.
Okay. So I used to dance as a kid. I used to do break dancing, and my teacher always said that I had very good form.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's true.
It's true. All right. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. So I never danced as a kid, but I did have like collections, and so I used to collect hockey cards of like ice hockey players, and I would want to get like, you know, 1 card for each player on the team so that I had, you know, the complete set for the team.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. That sounds like an excellent hobby. I mean, besides from break dancing, I just sort of did it. I thought I was into hip hop and things like that. And then I suppose my interests kind of changed. They progressed, they evolved. A bit of fishing, bit of tennis. I'm always on the hunt for a new hobby, I find. And I also find these days, it's better when you have hobbies because it's really hard to have a good conversation.
Yeah, it's nice to have something that you can talk about and bring up, you know, when you're having a conversation such as this one.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you can, you know, sometimes I find when we're having these word drop conversations, I do struggle for what to talk about. And I'm always trying to figure out what I'm going to say for my next sentence.
Yeah, that's a very tricky one. I mean, I struggle in just regular conversations anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it's word drop or if it's this, especially when I'm trying to use an appropriate conversation in place of an inappropriate one. I always have a lot of difficulty with that.
Okay. Well, just keep it, you know, as vague as possible. So you can always, I find when playing these games, I always try to think of things from my own life, because if I have something I can actually talk about that I've, you know, experienced on my own, I can actually draw from my memory, and I can use those things, and I can I can use that to add information to the conversation.
See you next time.